I have been feeling like the UFC world champion since the day I arrived here.
You make it sound so easy. I wish I wasn't so scared. George, there's nothing to be scared of. All it takes is a little self-confidence. You know, if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything.
If you keep going to the next level, you suck at the next level. You're not doing anything at the next level. So here's what that example is. Here's a human being. They've reached here. They're beating most people. They think they've reached it. They have no idea that there's that level there because there's fear. And every time you and I, believe me, I know this from experience, every time people that tell you, oh my gosh, you're so amazing, you're so this, you're so great, you believe it. But you're not there yet because you haven't reached your capacity yet.
I prayed to God every night. I still do that. I just wanted, I wanted God to know that even though I was going through the worst of times, I still recognized Him as being something greater than myself. And that I'm not gonna give up my faith just because it's going bad for me, because He was there when I was living good.
When you're in the middle of a struggle, it never seems like you're gonna get out of it.
Yeah.
And you're trapped.
Yeah.
You feel it, and it's so difficult for people to trust the process or to trust that it will get better. And this is unfortunately why a lot of people end their lives, because they do not think it's going to get better. And you hear it from so many people that almost took their life or failed when they tried to take their life, and now realize, oh my God, I was so wrong. It does get better. I am better. Everything's better. And I just didn't see the light. I didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. I thought there was just nothing but this feeling that I couldn't endure.
When you find yourself in a really bad place in life, normally you didn't get there overnight, and you're not going to get out of it. I got myself into that situation by how I looked at things and how I handled things and how so it was on me. I'm not blaming the rest of the world. And I think that's the first place you got to get.
Yes,
you
sir.
got to say, what are my decisions that has got me in this mess? And so what decision am I going to make to start getting me out of this mess? It doesn't do any good to blame everybody around you for whatever situation you're in.
If you play it safe, you're gonna exist. You only get to live when you take risks. Ain't no living in safety. You can't be the man if you don't jump. You can't be top dog unless you fight the other dog. Ain't nobody finna give you the championship. You don't win the title without coming to the fight. You don't win the fight without training. The jump is necessary. Every successful person I ever know has jumped. Why would you not?
People need to suffer. It is an actual requirement of life. And is the fiber, the DNA of love. Real love and true love and in perpetuity can't exist without suffering. It's impossible. And suffering doesn't have to be looked at as a negative thing. It could be looked at as a beautiful thing. It's where real love comes out of.
You want to be the one that says, fuck it, I'm going to do it anyway. I know I don't feel good today, but I'm going to go out there and I'm going to prove to myself that even on days that it doesn't feel right, I push myself. The only way to gain confidence in yourself is to build something. It's not to wait for it to happen. Your life just happened in front of you. It just show up today and make it happen with Tom. No, you had to do a lot of shit today to get to this day that no one really knows except you. So that's why you appreciate it.
Trust the timing of your life. That is simply it. Sometimes I try to play God and I'm like, well, I know best and it needs to work out this way, and if it doesn't work out this way, then it's wrong. No. I firmly believe when you surrender to the timing of your life, magic unfolds, magic happens. I have seen it. When I've released the reins, when I've said, okay, I'm co-captain, I'm still on the ship, but you've got a better plan than me, higher self, God, like, take over.
Maybe someone's don't like me, but because maybe I'm too good. I don't know why.
You have one life, don't settle for mediocrity.
Don't settle for mediocrity. And I think the only, people debate intelligence, for example, right? We talk about IQ tests and all that. But I think the only true test of intelligence is if you get what you want out of life. And there are two parts to that. One is getting what you want, so you know how to get it. And the second is wanting the right things, knowing what to want in the first place.
God is a Trinity. So when God made us in His image, He made us a Trinity, okay? We're a body, we're a soul, and we're a spirit. So if a man is not complete, if he doesn't have that faith, he's only 2/3 of a man.
Yeah, so good.
Discipline is a skill. It is not a trait. It's not something you're born with. It's something you have to develop. It's perishable. If you don't practice your discipline day in and day out in an intentional manner, it's going to get rounded off and it's going to get weak, and that's going to put you back amongst your peers.
From nothing to something to everything.
Bad things don't come in threes. Bad things happen. People don't know how to cope, and they allow one bad thing to snowball into more. Bad stuff sucks, The only thing worse is letting one bad thing ruin many good things.
You only get stronger hiking by going uphill. Nobody gets stronger hiking by just going downhill.
But you got your own back in life. You're not relying on somebody else, hoping they come through for you. No, you're blaze trailing, making new paths. Self-dependent, self-reliant, self-dominating, self-success. Bet on yourself, guys. You'll never lose if you bet on yourself. Always bet on yourself. Now sit back and watch the legacy build, man. Through payments of this. That's life. That's a good life. That's a life remembered.
I wish someone had told me in my 20s, Mel, take the biggest risks of your entire life right now. And in your 20s, you can get so scared and you can be so easily lulled into the idea that good is good enough, that feeling safe and comfortable is what you should always be looking for. That way of thinking in your 20s in particular, dead wrong. I want you to start to create this mindset of taking risks and going big.
The others, step by step, will follow the living imprint of your feet, but you yourself must not distinguish your victory from your defeat, and never for a single moment betray your credo or pretend, but be alive. Only this matters, alive and burning to the end.
I mean, maybe some of you guys got something you never finished, something you really want to do, something you never said to somebody, something. And you're told no, even after you pay your dues. Who's got the right to tell you that? Who? Nobody. It's your right to listen to your gut. It ain't nobody's right to say no after you earn the right to be where you want to be and do what you want to do. You know, the older I get, the more things I got to leave behind. That's life. The only thing I'm asking you guys to leave on the table is what's right.
If you want to go from where you are to where you want to be, you're going to have to do something that makes you more different, more weird, more easy to be mocked. Everybody that has got from a place where they don't want to be to one where they are, there's a point where they're so different that they can't resonate with their old set of friends, but they're not yet sufficiently developed that they've created their new set of friends. And there's this temptation to go back to the old patterns, the old ways of thinking, to go back to your old ways of thinking. Go back to the road that you already know how it's going to end. And I get the sense that this is not a bug, it is a feature.
You know, it's like if you want to become champion, like you have to sacrifice your time, your family, everything what you have to sacrifice. This is about sacrifice. If you're not ready to sacrifice, you have to sit home. This is just my advice for young guys who want to become great champion. Patience, hard work, sacrifice. Like without these things, doesn't matter how talented you are. This is not work.
It's a weird thing to want a permission slip for mediocrity, which is fundamentally what excuses are. You just want permission from everyone else to still get respect without the outcome because of your extenuating circumstances. And the thing is there's a ton of allure, but the only person who actually believes that is you. People might nod along, the people who love you might say, yeah, you know what, you are a special snowflake, your mama might still love you, but like, you're not gonna earn anyone's respect. And I think you certainly won't earn the respect of the person that matters most, which is you, because you'll always know that you could have done more, that you could have done better. That's the one that keeps me up. I have a saying that I tell myself a lot when I'm doing something that I don't want to do, and it's, I will do what is required. It's not about doing your best. It's about doing what's required, because what's required might be better than your best is right now. But the good news is that your best can get better.
You learn nothing from success. Nothing. You learn everything from the failures. And this is the thing that annoys me about the state that the world is in at the moment, is no one talks about failure anymore. It's like shame. Like failure is shame. And it's like, oh, let's just bury that and not talk about it. No one goes, oh, what do we learn from this? Whereas with success, everyone shouts about it, but there's nothing in success. Success happens from failing hundreds of times.
My advice is you have to find a dream that's so big that it overwhelms all of your fears and causes you to never give up. Now, you're going to think about quitting no matter what you do. I mean, I've thought about it many times.
If I have unbelievable big dreams and big goals, then I have to go through hard times. The hard times are a requisite for success.
For better or worse, life is very short. How should people deal with its briefness?
Enjoy it. Make the best of it. You know, it's even briefer than that. each moment just disappears. It's gone. There's only a present moment, and it's gone instantly. So if you're not there for it, if you're stressed out or you're anxious or you're thinking about something else, you missed it. So any moment when you're not in that moment, you are dead to that moment.
There's a lot of dream killers out there. Some come with the best of intentions. Others, by design, are designed to kill your dreams and to suffocate your ambition. You know what you're meant to do. You know what you desire to do. You know what your purpose and your meaning is going to be in life. Like, you can sense it. You can feel the gnawing of greatness in you, right? And you know that you have to elevate to the 2.0 version to get there, but there is risk involved, that you have to fear, you have to face the fear and doubt and uncertainty, and you have to go against some of the things that the people that you love and respect say.
When no one's watching, I work harder than when they're watching. And thinking about it like that has given me this persistent and ever-present scorecard or third party that's like, no one's watching, which means now you have to work, because otherwise you're full of shit. As long as you keep going, you bear witness to yourself of what you are capable of.
If there's no chaos in my life, I create it. Like, I like to create chaos. I love stress. I don't even consider it stress. I like to solve problems.
That's how you're wired.
And I like to win.
Yeah.
And when you fucking tell me this is horrible and this isn't gonna work, I love it even more. That's what really gets me going.
Everything's a test. Everything's a test. And that is a good attitude to have. The alarm clock going off in the morning is a test. The last rep of the workout, it's a test. The donut that's trying to get down your throat, that's a test. The emotions that you're having that trying to dictate your life, that's a test. The people that are trying to drag you down and pull you into the bar just to keep you out until 2 o'clock in the morning, or if you're not in California, 5 o'clock in the morning, that's a test. The comfort, it's a test. Comfort's a test. The ease is a test. The warmth and the laziness and the inertia, it's all a test. If you see it that way, and you think about it that way, each and everything that you do is a test. And the answer, what it reveals is who you are. Who you are. Do you give up? Or do you push through? Do you get frustrated or do you get better? It's a good way to frame things.
But you can't deny the fact that the positive thinking has a real physiological impact on what you do.
When you say you're going to do something, you do it. Because your word is your bond, son. That's all you have.
If you're not strong mentally and you have no willpower, you're going to continue falling back in this hole versus the man that sits back and goes, all right, motherfucker, this is what it took for me to be me.
This is why, I've been stressing this idea of personal responsibility. Well, personal responsibility is to compete with yourself, is to be slightly better than yourself the next day.
Yes.
And better in some way that you can actually manage. And that's humility. It's right. Like, well, I'm a flawed person. And I've got all my problems. Could I be as good as person X? It's like not the right question. The right question is, could you be slightly better tomorrow than your currently flawed self? And the answer to that is, if you have enough humility to set the bar properly low, then you could be better tomorrow than you are today.
If you let people's perception of you dictate your behavior, you will never grow as a person. But if you leave yourself open to experience, despite what others think, then you will learn and grow.
Every man has 2 lives, and the second starts when he realizes he has just one.
Anything in life that you put your mind to, you can do. The world is your oyster. That's all I tell people. While you're on earth, especially if you're not incarcerated, you got to take advantage of this. Do what you do to the fullest and live your life and just be happy.
And you might say, well, what's the right way of being in the world? And it's not acting according to a set of rules. It's attempting continually to transcend the flawed thing that you currently are. The meaning in life is to be found in that pursuit.
In order to be the master, you have to be the idiot first. You can't be the master without being an idiot. You can't be a master and become a master. You have to make the mistakes to become a master.
100%. You have to be a fool. If you're not a fool, you're not learning.
Hell, you have to be a fool. You have to be a fool to even think you want to reach that level.
I'm going to take every single thing that someone says. I'm going to take every smart-ass remark. I'm going to take every eye roll. I'm going to take every comment of disbelief, and I'm going to remember who the fuck said it. I'm going to remember where I was when they said it, and I'm going to remember how it made me feel when they said it. And I'm going to take all of that shit, and I'm going to put it up here in a huge motherfucking chip on my shoulder. And when I don't feel like going, and when I'm having a hard day, and when I would rather sit on my ass than do what I'm supposed to do, I'm going to think back to what those people said or what they did or them laughing or them making fun of me. And I'm going to use that to push me into action. And people who don't get it, don't get it.
In the universe, we know that all of energy is in a state of vibration. Everything is vibrating. Even this board is vibrating. Your skin is vibrating. Every substance is vibrating because of its molecular structure. And we find that whatever you are thinking, your thoughts are also a form of energy that is vibrating and radiating out from you and that travels at the speed of light so that you can affect people and circumstances at great distances.
How can you sleep better at night when you know that you've cheated the process or you didn't give everything that you had when you had all the opportunities to?
What does a man do? A man provides for his family. When you have children, you always have family. They will always be your priority, your responsibility. And a man provides. And he does it even when he's not appreciated or respected or even loved. He simply bears up and he does it because he's a man.
Whatever position you put yourself in, you got to work yourself out of. Rose ain't gonna cry. We finna grind our way out of this until we own everything we want.
And that was when like the reality of the situation of like there was no escape. There was no one who was going to come to save me. And I couldn't blame my dad. I couldn't blame my mom. I was the one who had chosen this life. But the alternative was that I had to go back to my father, a failure, and have him look me in the eyes and say, I told you. And come here, don't worry about it. I told you this gym stuff, this fitness stuff, this starting your own business, it's for later. It's fine. Just go back. Hey, you've got this great degree. Just go to the business school to do the thing. And I knew exactly what had happened. But what would have happened after that is that for the rest of my life, he would have had absolute authority over everything that I did. And that felt like death.
Why not? Why can't I be the MVP of the league? Why can't I be the best player in the league? I don't see why. Why can't I do that?
You might have more talent than me. You might be smarter than me. You might be sexier than me. You might be all of those things. You got it on me in 9 categories. But if we get on the treadmill together, right, there's 2 things. You're getting off first, or I'm gonna die.
You don't need talent. You need discipline. I can outwork everybody. That's what it takes. I can't dunk, but over here, everything that I want is over here in this fucking pile of shit. Hard work, dedication, sacrifice. I can do that.
Having a clue is overrated. There's this funny myth that people actually know what they're doing. I've spent time around some of the richest, smartest, highest status people on the planet, and let me tell you, it's idiots all the way up. Normalize saying, I don't have a clue, I'm going to work out how to do it anyway. Having a clue is overrated.
While you're here, write down at least 5 reasons on why you deserve your dream, on why you won't give up, what's going to make you unstoppable, why you must be unreasonable, because logical, practical thinking says you can't do it today. But if you want to produce unreasonable results in your life, like living your dream and taking charge of your destiny, you've got to be an unreasonable person. You've got to be an uncommon person.
Right now, every single one of you out there have exactly what you deserve. You might think that life is unfair. You might think that life dealt you a bad hand, but I'm here to tell you life will give you exactly what you tolerate. And if you've been tolerating mediocrity, you've been tolerating average, you've been tolerating this victim mentality that you're carrying, then guess what? You have exactly what you deserve.
Lots of people associate working hard with not making progress. Therefore, working feels like wasting.
The idea that working hard doesn't make progress is one of the biggest farces that exists in humanity, because at the end of the day, whatever you amount to isn't going to matter anyways, right? And so if there is anything that's eternal for us, at least as individuals, it's going to be who we become in the process. And so one of my favorite quotes is, the work works on you more than you work on it. And so if you want to be the best in the world at something, you do the work to become the best in the world, and the work works on you. And so I mean, there's a biblical proverb. I think it says like, there is profit in all labor. And that means that even if the thing that you're working on right now doesn't amount to the outcome that you expected that it would, it doesn't mean that you don't become better through doing it.
Winning makes you different. Winning makes you different. It does make you different. Without a different, and you know what different does? It scares people.
It's a war of many battles. The battles are fought every single day for betterment, to bring that elite to the surface, what we always knew we could be. I mean, isn't it about time you guys become the person you always knew you could be? Shut off the volume, the speakers of society telling you what you can't be. Listen to the voice from within, the energy inside, knowing you can be more than this. Where there are no limitations, excuses, negative energy. It's just high voltage of positive energy. This workout, the crusade, many battles, easily won on a daily occurrence. The war will never be won. Because that war is a better life. The life of inspirement, where you lead others to join you in that endeavor and create something epic that we talk about back in the day.
You do what you are. You're born with a gift. If not that, then you get good at something along the way. And what you're good at, you don't take for granted.